Hello, folks, and welcome to the 50th episode of Zoomin with Zack. I apologize in advance. Allergies are trying to kick my ass, but I'm going to do my best to make it through here without rubbing my eyes more than 4 times. Let's get right into it. Zoomin with Zack. Thanks for watching. See you in a second. Welcome, folks, to another episode of Zoomin with Zack. Super excited to hit a milestone today. This is episode number 50. Those of you who have been with me since the beginning, we started this shortly after the pandemic to reconnect with old friends and colleagues and people that not only I love, but I just need my community to know who they are and connect with them as well. And I'm super excited for the guest I have today. Of course, Milestone had to bring out someone who I think everyone either knows or should know. And get to know him a little bit more because this dude is super awesome. I don't use the awesome word a lot, but he's super awesome. Before I introduce you to my guest, got the trivia question, though, or the dad joke, I should say. Why was the ghost asked to join the football team? Why was the ghost asked to join the football team? So if you think you know, put your answer in the comments. Hopefully somebody gets it correct because you haven't been getting them over the last few weeks. So hopefully someone gets this. But without further ado, I got to introduce you to my guy, the one and only James Palmer. James, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, man? This is awesome. I'm not gonna lie. We've been chopping it up for what, like an hour already?
Yeah,
hanging out, catching up.
Vibe, man. It was so good to catch up with you. It's been.
I loved it.
When did we graduate? 01?
Oh, don't say it. Yeah, we did. It was 01.
20
The Odyssey.
Years ago,
Yep.
Right? And you said I look the same. I'm saying the same to you, bro. You haven't aged today. Man.
I got makeup on. No, I do wear makeup though, which was a bit of a transition.
We must be catching you right after an NFL Network show. You still got the makeup. That's great, man. No, bro, I'm glad to have you on. Again, you were one of my favorite folks in high school. Just had the same personality.
Yeah,
everyone loved James.
Then
we got to be camp counselors together and really become buddies at Adventure Day Camp. But tell folks a little bit about yourself and what you got going on.
Yeah, so I've known Zach forever, which is awesome. My favorite, well, I'll say this, I'll save that for later. One of my favorite memories of you, with you. But yeah, we're in the off season right now. We're for NFL Network, and we're kind of slowing down right now a little bit. Everybody's kind of in OTAs and kind of bouncing around to those a little bit, but most of the big stuff's kind of behind us in terms of free agency draft, and now we're waiting for training camp when my life just completely goes awry and I wave goodbye to my family and I don't see them for an extended period of time. But it's awesome, man. We're gearing up for a big Europe trip because this is our break. We take a break like the same time the players take a break, until everybody comes back into July. So it's been awesome, man. Covering the league's been a blast. So we're going into our 9th year with NFL Network, like 12th year covering the NFL. Wow. So yeah, pretty stoked for another one. It's still fun on Sundays, I'll say that.
I bet. And of course, I was strategic in picking my time of when to ask you to come on. I figured, all right, there's too much going on in the football world. Season just ended. It's a good time. Oh, wait, no, we got to have the draft.
No, dude, Roger Goodell is a genius, right? These guys they know how to stay relevant year round.
Year round,
always something big. Yep.
Year round. But good for you that you get a little break and you have some time. They're awesome family. I love seeing all the stuff you post on social.
Oh, appreciate it.
You got a solid crew. You got a solid crew out there, man.
Yeah, I think so.
And major props to you. I know a lot of my audience are Philly based. So there's no secret you're a Philly guy. Your pop's one of the amazing Philly sportscasters, Scott Palmer, back in the day. But I want to ask you, how awesome was it to cover so much Eagles content at the end of last year as we were making our run?
It was awesome, man. I mean, I was there for almost all of it. I covered the Eagles this past year more than I covered any other team. I think I had like 8 Eagles games, which was a blast. And they're a really great team to cover. I'll be honest. This isn't just because I'm from Philly and I'm biased, or whatever, but it's one of the best locker rooms to cover just because the personalities are great. Mm-hmm. In Philly, no matter who the head coach has been, whether it's Andy or Doug or Nick or whoever's been in there, Chip was a little different, but the locker room has been the same. I mean, they let their personalities show. Nobody makes them hide who they are. I mean, and if you can talk to a guy like Jordan Mailata, like on a regular basis, your life's pretty good because like that group of linemen down there, all the way at the end of the locker room with him and Lane and Kels and those guys, it's phenomenal to cover that team. And obviously, since it's the hometown team, and I was thinking about this. Like I had did you have the Hutch, Zach? Like, remember the Hutch kit? It was a jersey, shoulder pads, helmet, a Hutch football.
Did not have it,
like one thing. You could get whatever team you wanted, obviously. And I got Randall, but like. Yeah. So covering them is awesome. I'd say like my career highlight, like covering Super Bowls and like the Masters and things like that and everything. But like hosting the parade for NFL Network in 2017 was like, that's my career highlight. And doing it with like my colleague Colleen Wolfe, who's also a Philly person, went to Hapro. So her and I co-hosting it, like standing there, seeing all those people right in front of the art museum.
Right.
Like, career highlight, like 100%. So another parade comes down Broad Street, and I can host it again.
Indeed. Once we're done, when we're not recording, I'll have to share some stories from that day. I was in the crowd, and the stories were epic. So
we did it. Listen, I'm not surprised, because we did have like a roaming reporter on the ground, and I don't think he did a single report in like the 3 hours of television we did, because he was either like engulfed by the crowd. Nothing worked because there were so many people, right? You remember that your cell phone didn't even work that day because there was just too many people. Right. It was nuts, absolutely nuts.
The audio engineer's like, what am I going to do with this? Like, all I hear is screaming and Eagles chants. Like, I don't know.
Use him at all. They couldn't use the guy at all. He flew out to Philly and did nothing.
Oh, man. Before we jump into 3 random questions, I did want to shout out another project you're working on. I don't know how many people know about it. But you've been doing these campfire interviews. And when I tell you, they're so in-depth and engaging. Like, I love seeing you do your NFL talk, but it's so quick. I need more James. And and this show gives me a plethora of James. So please tell people a little bit about what you're doing with that.
Yeah, Campfire Combos is a YouTube show that we have. We're going into season 2 this summer, and I just sit down around a campfire and talk long form with interesting people, we've had actors, we've had athletes. I'm still waiting on a good musician. That's what we need. We need to add a musician to the list, and some business, entrepreneurs and things like that. And I think the cool part is that, like, you're sitting around a campfire. What people usually do is they get really like nostalgic, laid back. We make s'mores, we drink some bourbon. And people kind of remember what it was like to just kind of chat around a fire, right? And the cool part about it is we never really know where the conversation is going to go. Like, it's gone a lot of different directions. It doesn't have really a full-fledged agenda to how the conversation is going to go. And that's been probably one of the most rewarding things I've done professionally, because when you can sit with, like Carly Lloyd, who's kind of a local legend and one of the greatest soccer players of all time, we got a chance to talk for like 3 hours, like around a campfire, and it was a blast. I mean, she had a great time. I think I had more. And then you can stay in touch with some of these people and just learn so much about what makes certain people tick. And then also what they want to put on a s'more is really interesting, because we have a lot of options, and you can tell a lot about a person by the way they build their s'more. Do you want to flame that bad boy all the way up, or is it just a little touch? Do you want to put some people put fruit in there, because we give you every option imaginable. And just I think it lets a lot of people's guard down, which is something that, most people that are in the limelight keep their guard up all the time, right? And every interview and every answer, I deal with this in the NFL all the time. Answers are they know exactly what they're going to say. It's a canned answer, and they're going to say it. And I don't mean like I'm trying to trick anybody or anything. It's just like, when your guard's down, you're just more authentic. And I think the environment does that. It's been an absolute blast to do those.
That's so awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I look forward to season 2. And of course, look forward to you coming back from your European trip, so I can see you covering my team and other teams.
I'll be in Philly. Yeah, I'll definitely be making stops there.
Indeed,
all those new faces, come on.
Got to. We'll make sure we try to set up some time, have a brew next time you're in town.
Dude, I'd love that. I'd love that.
Maybe out here in the port.
Hey, my sister's down the street from you, man. So
yeah, man, for sure. So it's time for 3 random questions.
Okay.
So I need you to give me a 3-digit number. None of the numbers can be the same. Any number you want. And I'm gonna give you 3 questions corresponding with those numbers.
Okay.
What's your number?
1, 2, 4.
Uno,
my
dos,
luggage. That's my luggage code. No, I'm just kidding.
It's 1, 2, and 4. It's probably not the luggage code, so don't go check.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There you go. That's what
From
it is.
Spaceballs. Yeah.
That's actually the code of my bike. I made it really easy. Let's see. Question number one. You hit the lottery and you win $100,000. How are you spending it, James Palmer? And you cannot give it away or donate it to charity.
Oh, I can't donate. Okay.
Can't donate it.
I have to be selfish.
Yes, yes.
In a sense. Okay. Well, I mean, I would probably can't give it away. 100K. How am I spending it? Listen, my son is, kind of everything to me. So he is a very creative individual. Everything he does, he makes costumes. He used to wear costumes all the time, and now he likes to make his own like Ant-Man costume and then like that. So like, I'm gonna lie, I'd be like, dude, we're going to Michael's, unlimited budget. What are you buying? Like, because like he made a whole Ant-Man helmet out of like with a hot glue gun and cardboard and all this stuff, and it's incredible. Like it's
awesome.
It's absolutely nuts. And so like I would say, yeah, like let's take him and the wife. She's an artist. You guys get unlimited supplies to create. We're a very creative family. That's kind of how we roll. There are these long drawing sessions. I'm not a part of them, but I'll sit there and edit and do videos and things like that. But like, yeah, I'll do supplies. I'll do supplies for them to create. Canvases are not cheap, man. Paint is not cheap. So I'll get some canvases for the wife, some stuff for the son. Boom.
He's going to upgrade from cardboard to like foam boards and like styrofoam moldings and stuff.
He's got expensive taste there. He knows what he's got. He's already got a sewing. He's got his own. He's 10. He's got his own sewing machine.
I love it.
So he's all over. He'll be getting fabric. He'll be getting everything.
Have you ever gotten him in? There was, I don't know the name of it.
Comic-Con?
Huh? No. It's like, how like you're watching like, it's like a competition show. It might be on Bravo or one of those things, but like people who make costumes for movies are competing again, and they're making costumes and competing.
There's a show of this?
Yes. I was watching it hardcore a couple years ago. So like I'll have to find the name.
Text me that show, or I can just find it on my own instead of making.
Make sure. I will definitely send it to you. Watch the whole series with him.
We're gonna watch.
He will love it. He will love it.
Watch.
Number 2. You're 1, 2, 4. Question number 2. If you could work in another industry or job, what would it be and why?
Professor. I would want to teach, but I love like going through I have 2 degrees, humble brag. One's in education and one's in journalism. And it's kind of funny that those were the 2 that I had because those are what my parents both did. But the interesting part about it was learning so much in my educational classes from people who teach and experienced teaching.
Right.
The vast majority of my journalism classes are not from people that were broadcasters or been in the field for extended period of time. So now that this has been my career Zach just put us on blast. We graduated in 2001. So like, I'm like now like approaching like 20 years in television is like around the corner. Right. So I've always thought like, I would love to, when I start slowing down at like 60 or something like that, and I'm not traveling 120, 140 days out of the year. So I'm like, I would love to like spring semester, be a professor and use and teach my own style of journalism based off of experiences and based off of being in the industry, based off of the times where I've had to be, like a team absolutely hates my guts and my boss, why did he back me up? Because I did everything right, even though they didn't like it. And they report me to the NFL and the PFWAs fighting with the league, all these different things. All these different experiences, I would love to teach them at like a collegiate level and have a very like, can I tell you what I think the class would be like?
Love it. Yeah.
I would like to like have like that day, a scenario. All right. You're like, let's say the scenario would be this, like you're in the locker room and you're talking to player X and you think you heard what they said, but you're not entirely sure word for word what they said.
Right.
And it's a very important topic. Say it's something with social justice or something with it that's outside of the lines. How do you go about making sure you got something that nobody else has? You got an unbelievable quote, but you're not exactly sure it's right. You think you're right. You think you heard it right. The audio is kind of, on your recorder for part of it.
Oh gosh.
What do you do? Like what are the steps? And we break down a different scenario every class in terms of journalism ethics, in terms of journalistic integrity, things like that could really, I think, with talking with a professor that has been through a lot of those, would be a pretty cool class.
No, 100%. I love that mindset towards it. My best learning ever has been more in that experiential, like kind of like troubleshooting. Let's put ourselves in these scenarios and work through it. I used to love that when I did sales at the Nets and we would have our cold calling competitions. That was some of the most enjoyable times. And I think
I'd be terrible. I'd be awful.
No,
were you good at them?
You would have crushed it.
Were you good at? I bet you were good at those.
Oh, I did. I won our little competition, and I got
I knew it.
The prize for winning the cold calling competition was an away trip with the team. You flew in the team plane, and you stayed in the hotel with the team at an away game. And I was so hyped, bro. They sent us to Detroit, and it was
it's a great airport.
14 degrees. Like I was just like, yo, this is terrible.
Where'd you guys stay?
The competition was great.
Where'd you stay? At that Marriott that everybody always stays at with the cars in the bottom?
It was not the most memorable, and it was 10 plus years ago, but yes, it probably was that.
I met Kim Kardashian in that Marriott.
Oh yeah? So I'm sure you have a lot of stories from a lot of hotels and folks you have met.
They wouldn't let me on the elevator with her security.
Oh geez.
So I just yelled, I'm on television too.
I have a funny Beyonce courtside story from the Nets days, but I'll save that for offline. Okay. I don't want to get sued by the Beehive. Like, I don't know. Your next number was 4.
4.
Last question. Looking ahead, what's something major you hope to accomplish in the next 2 years?
Ooh. Should I go professionally, personally?
If you want to give me both, you can. If you want to choose one, I'll give it all up to you.
Because it's a little generic, but I'm always into like self-improvement and self-help and those type of things and
right.
That type of stuff. And then, working on my marriage and being a father and all of those different things. And I think we all are striving to be better people. But something major to accomplish. Ooh, I'll say this. I'm a big hiker and a big outdoors person.
Yep.
I'd like to get I've done Mount Massive, which is one of the tallest peaks in Colorado. I'd like to do one of the big ones.
I'm sorry, the name of that was what? Mount Massive?
Yeah, that's a good name, right? Makes sense.
I guess.
Pretty massive. But I would like to do a couple more 14ers or do El Cap or something like that. Not the rock climbing wall version, but something like that. I think those personal achievements that you have to plan for, set up for, and accomplish, those are kind of big in my mind. And so if I could plan a big, or actually no, I'll change it. Instead of going up, I'm going to go down. I want to do the entire Grand Canyon, up and back one day. It's brutal and hard, but you can do it. And so I want to go from the rim all the way in and all the way back out in the same day. I want that to happen in the next 2 years. I'm deciding it now.
I'll be checking in with you May.
Instead of going up, we're going down. Yep.
2025 to make sure that you've accomplished this. I'm sure it'll happen way before that, though.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we need free time. We need time. Even if I don't get it done in a day, you got to get there.
I love it. This has been great, man. I really do appreciate the time. I know you're super busy, but it was great to catch up with you and reminisce a little bit. Before we close out, I gotta ask if you have an answer to this question. I'm gonna cover your face up for a second there. Why was the ghost asked to join the football team? Do you have an answer for that, sir?
My first one, because I'm in stadiums all the time, was something along the lines of they don't want to get booed. But it can't be right.
It's not right, but yeah. I like that. Yeah. They needed a little more team spirit.
Oh, okay. I like it. I'm going to tell my son that when I pick him up from school.
Yeah. Share it. Tell him Uncle Zach came up with it.
Yeah. Is that an original?
Uncle Zach is.
That's an original?
Huh? No, I definitely stole that from online.
Okay.
It's definitely not original.
I'll say it was Zach's show then.
With you. You know, I was a conduit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you connected it.
For sure, man. Listen, this has been fantastic. Folks, continue to support James. Check out his Campfire podcast. What's the official name? I don't want to.
It's called Campfire Combos on by Sun Outdoors. Yeah, so it's been. You can just type in Campfire Combos and check out. I think we had 10 episodes in season 1. We got 8 coming up, baby, this summer. Yeah, we're excited.
Make sure you're checking that out. Of course, make sure you keep watching the NFL Network and support the Eagles and maybe other teams if you like them. But why would you like another team? So, shout out James and his Eagles network. We're going to just call it that.
Wait, Zach, do you find it weird, or is it acceptable to have an NFC team if you're an Eagles fan and you can kind of have like a B team and they're in the AFC?
Great question, because I did have a discussion recently about this. I say it's acceptable. Yeah. Steelers has been my secondary team for a long time because it was in the
okay to have a secondary team. It is.
Yeah, as long as they're not in the conference. As long as they're not, you can't have a secondary team that's a rival.
Yeah,
I have a friend who says he's a
I like the Eagles and the Giants.
Yeah, no, that's preposterous. Maybe the Commanders, because I don't even know if they count anymore. So, like, I guess you can like them a little bit, but I prefer not to.
Yeah, that's fine. Awesome. There's a lot of change going on over there.
All right, folks, I'm headed out. James, I'll leave it to you to take away again. Thanks for being on the show, and I'll see y'all all next time on Zoomin with Zack.
Appreciate it, man. So listen, I did want to say this really quick. I'm not going to sit here and promote myself, James Palmer TV on Twitter, James Palmer TV on Instagram. No big deal. No, but anyway, my favorite couple things about Zach are camp counselor thing was fun because we just really just kind of messed around with kids all day and just kind of made up games that we wanted to play. So usually you could hit them with a ball. But most importantly, my favorite Zach memory is when we used to ride back on the bus, football, senior year, the back of the bus, we'd be singing like crazy, like old school Zach. I don't know if you can hear me right now, like old school, like Motown type of stuff. And we had some serious rhythm in the back of the bus. There were some people that had no rhythm and did not know the words. But that group of us in the back that could belt it out and could keep rhythm, oof, those ride homes Friday nights late after a win, because we did win quite a few games, no big deal. Division champs. Those were awesome memories. Not even playing the games, like the bus back with Zach and other people in the back of the bus. That was always stood out to me because I was the kicker. I wasn't like a real player. That was awesome, Zach.
So I never jumped back in, but I had to jump back in because, yes, classic times, amazing kicker. So give yourself credit. And two, when you mentioned camp, I just had to remember the one time, I feel like it was me or you, but somebody kicked the ball and it hit that little cute kid in the face and his body like lifted up in the air.
He went just this direction and then took off that way.
That was hilarious. Folks, we're closing the show down. I hope you guys check us in next time. James.
He was okay. Yeah, he was okay.
He survived. He's still alive today. Hopefully he's watching. Peace, everybody. Have a good one.